you very much. It's great to be here. I want to just take a moment and thank the mayor for his leadership, Mayor Florentini. We appreciate what you do for the city and the region. The mayor in any city, I believe, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a mayor, is the toughest job in politics today. So thank you for what you're doing. And I want to thank my friend, the mayor of Methuen, Mayor Manzi, who's here as well. It's great to see you. Thanks for your leadership. And, I salute the award winners today, Representative Dempsey as well. Thanks for your leadership in Beacon Hill. The treasurer was here, I know. He's one of my constituents. I have to acknowledge him, not only because he's one of my constituents, because he's a terrific treasurer as well. So thank you all for your leadership in government. I believe strongly that we are at a critical juncture in our country's history. We're at a crossroads. And the reason for that is because the decisions that are going to be made over the course of the next several weeks and months will affect future generations of Americans. I have a 3-year-old daughter at home. I have a 13-week-old son. And I think about them every single time I go out and I campaign. I think about what kind of world they're going to be walking into, what kind of opportunities they're going to have, what kind of environment they will walk into in the future. The fact is that the junior senator from this state has made the wrong decisions repeatedly. Repeatedly. He's voted against the values and interests of the Commonwealth. He's voted against programs like Head Start. He's voted to cut funding for police, teachers, and firefighters, communities all across the Commonwealth. He's voted against job training programs. He's voted against the extension for unemployment benefits. Doesn't even believe in the science behind global climate change. These are not the values of the people of Massachusetts. They're not the values of our country, and they certainly are not the values that I grew up with. Both my parents are from New York. My dad's from Harlem. My mom's from the Bronx. My dad grew up in what was deemed the worst block in America because of the drugs, gangs, and violence. His life was saved because of a city-sponsored program, the Police Athletic League. Literally saved his life. Went on to the Air Force, went to Korea, came home, met my mom. They went down south to college, marched in the Civil Rights Movement, put their lives on the line to desegregate lunch counters and movie theaters. And then they found the community where I live, Newton, Massachusetts. And they purchased the home where my wife and my 2 kids live with GI Bill benefits. Another great American initiative to lift the middle class. My dad understood the enormous opportunities he was given in life. He spent his career repaying that by giving others the same. He passed away a little over a year ago. But he instilled in me a sense of shared responsibility to my community and my country, and he also instilled in me the importance of public service. It's why I decided to knock on 11,000 doors, become mayor of Newton, give my city the leadership it deserved. It's why I decided to join the military, Navy Reserve, shortly after 9/11, did a year-long deployment as a Navy intelligence specialist in Iraq. It's why I spent my entire career in public service, working in the White House Office of Cabinet Affairs for President Clinton, getting resources to states all over the country, running FEMA for New England, working with communities right here in Massachusetts when they're in trouble, being Senator Kerry's point person for small business, expanding job opportunities right here in the Commonwealth. All that great experience brought me to this very moment. And here's what I understand. I understand that we need to invest in protecting quality of life, programs that do that, creating jobs, and eliminate areas that don't. It's what I do every day as mayor. Through 2 tough budget cycles, I saved my city $8 million. We protected public safety and education. Made sure we invested in things that matter. I did 24 town hall meetings since becoming mayor. Not because I love town hall meetings, but because I wanted to make sure my constituents understood the decision I was making and why, And I wanted to hear from them as to what they believe would promote the quality of life in my own community. That is the kind of United States Senator I would be. That's the kind of United States Senator we need representing us in Washington, D.C. Let me just tell you a few of the things I would concentrate on right now. 13 million people plus unemployed in this country. Completely unacceptable. They're higher in the building trades. They're higher in communities across the Commonwealth. We need to get people back to work. I support the President's jobs bill. It should be passed. It's a good start, but we got to do more. We got to make sure we really invest for real in infrastructure, buildings, rail, road. We have to make sure that we expand opportunities for small business to obtain capital so that communities can be vital, behavioral, and otherwise. We have to make sure that every free trade deal is a fair trade deal in the United States so we can bring good-paying jobs back here to Massachusetts and compete with China and India. I believe healthcare is a right, not a privilege in this country. I believe we should defend and improve the bill that was passed last year, but it can't bankrupt families, and individuals, and cities and towns. There are sensible ways to bring down the cost of healthcare that don't cut benefits. We should give the Medicare program the opportunity to negotiate for drug prices. We should give the Medicare program the opportunity to import drugs outside of the United States, places like Canada. Bring down the cost of healthcare by billions of dollars. We do it in the city of Newton right now. And finally, I care deeply about the security of this country. I'm a veteran of the Iraq War. We got to invest in areas that actually do protect the United States. Areas like intelligence sharing, intelligence assets, but we have to reduce areas that don't. Reduce our nuclear arsenal. Stop spending money on antiquated weapon systems and bring our troops home as quickly as possible. Now finally, let me say this. I hear it out there all the time. Scott Brown's a nice guy. Can't be beaten. People like him. Independent voice. How are you going to win? Folks, we've seen this movie before. And it ran in the year 2000. It was a greatest hit in that year. Guy runs around in a barn jacket, pickup truck. People say, this is the kind of guy you want to have a beer with. We know how that movie ends. We've seen it. The fact is that Scott Brown has voted 87% of the time with his national Republican leadership, and the other percent of the time, I don't know where the man stands. Says he wants to privatize Medicare, shoulder seniors with thousands of dollars out of pocket, people with disabilities. Then the next week he says, I'm not so sure. Goes like this. That's not the kind of leadership we need, representing in the state of Massachusetts, nor do we deserve. I think the key difference in this campaign will be how each of us views the opportunities we are given in life and whether we believe others deserve the same. I do. Let me end with this brief story. A lot of people say, Setti, how are you going to get past all the acrimony in Washington? How are you going to get past the back and forth partisanship? I always reflect on my experience in Iraq. When I was in Iraq, I saw the worst of humanity. I saw death, I saw carnage and loss of life, even in my own unit. But here's what I took with me. I took with me a principle and a value. And that is this. I worked with people. I served with people. Rich, poor, black, white, all different political stripes. We had to keep the common goal of the unit in mind in everything we did, and we had to put our country first. Our lives depended on it. I took that value home when I became mayor, and that's why we were so successful in Newton, because I put my community first. And that's why I do believe that through a shared sense of responsibility, we can get past all the differences we have between us here as Americans. Put our country first, get people back to work, rebuild the middle class, and ensure our state and country lives up to its full potential. I ask for your help. I ask for your support in this room, in this race. I ask for you to join me to make sure we put America first, and then we put this country and make sure it's the shining beacon it always has been in the world. Thank you so much.